Good morning. You're listening to Slices of Wenatchee. We're excited to bring you a closer look at one of our top stories and other important happenings every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Today, Blewett Pass is holding barely a quarter of the snowpack it had this time last year. And wildfire agencies say what happens next will shape the severity of the summer ahead. Before we continue, have you joined Neighbor yet? If not, download the app today and join local conversations about issues that matter. Neighbor is a site just for our local community focused on facts, not misinformation. Best of all, it's free for everyone. To learn more, visit wenatcheeworld.com/NABUR. Now, let's jump in. Monitoring stations at Blewett Pass are showing 3.4 inches of water stored in the snowpack. At this time last year, that number was 12.6 inches. That difference is already on the radar for fire managers across north central Washington. Ryan Roderick with the State Department of Natural Resources says the agency closely tracks snow water equivalent, the amount of water that will feed soils and vegetation as temperatures warm. In much of the region, that measurement is below the 50th percentile. In parts of the South Cascades, however, it has dipped into the 20th percentile and even lower. He says this winter has been extremely dry. It's still too early to predict the wildfire season, but it would take significant storms to push those readings back to normal. The National Interagency Fire Center reported earlier this month that January was abnormally warm and dry in the Northwest. Dead fuels remain drier than seasonal averages and will stay available to burn until steady precipitation returns. Short burn windows may limit spread for now, but wind-driven fires could still challenge crews if conditions line up. There is some potential for relief in the forecast, though. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Climate Prediction Center is calling for an active storm track in March, with above-normal precipitation. At the same time, La Niña conditions appear to be weakening sooner than expected. Even so, local preparation is already underway. The Department of Natural Resources and the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department are moving into seasonal readiness, and Chief Brian Brett says crews are completing wildland refreshers and checking equipment now, rather than waiting for dry conditions to set in. He says wildfire response is layered. Structure engines protect homes, and brush trucks engage in wildland areas. Crews dig handline, and bulldozers cut containment lines. Helicopters provide air support, and when snowpack is strong, state and federal resources are often available earlier in the year. When it's weak, that timeline can shift. Brett says it's still too early to know how spring vegetation will develop. Grasses and shrubs respond quickly to moisture. If spring rains hold, green-up can slow fire spread. If they taper off, the region can move into prime burning conditions by late June. For now, he says conditions look typical for late February, but the next several weeks will really matter. For more, head over to wenatcheeworld.com. Are you passionate about the issues shaping north central Washington? Then you won't want to miss the Wenatchee World Forum at Pybus. This monthly event brings together newsmakers and the community to dive into the topics that matter most. It's your chance to engage, ask questions, and be part of the conversation shaping our region's future. Have questions or need more info? Visit wenatcheeworld.com/forum. Now, a few other stories you should know about. A Wenatchee Valley counselor has been sentenced to 1 month in jail after pleading guilty to charges involving 2 teenage clients. Devin McNeil, age 32 of Kashmir, pleaded guilty to unlawful imprisonment, 4th-degree assault with sexual motivation, and 2nd-degree sexual misconduct with a minor. He is barred from contacting the victims, prohibited from counseling minors for 5 years, and required to complete a sexual deviancy evaluation. The State Department of Health suspended his credentials in 2024. A former Sterling Junior High custodian has pleaded guilty to 3rd-degree rape involving a 15-year-old student. Matthew Van Housen admitted to raping the boy in 2022, and prosecutors will recommend a 1-year jail sentence, 36 months of community custody, and 10 years of sex offender registration. Sentencing is scheduled for March 16th. The Wenatchee Jazz Workshop is celebrating its 26th year, bringing about 160 students from 7 local schools together with 6 professional musicians for a week-long intensive. Volunteers organize the nonprofit program, coordinating travel, lodging, and rehearsals. Students rehearse in full ensembles and smaller sectionals alongside touring artists, culminating in concerts at Wenatchee and Eastmont High Schools later this week. Downtown Wenatchee will be covered in snow on March 7th as Rails and Ales returns to Centennial Park. Organizers will haul in 12 dump trucks of snow from Mission Ridge to build a rail jam course for skiers and snowboarders. The event runs from noon to 3 p.m. and includes beginner instruction, live music, 10 food trucks, and multiple beer gardens. Last year's event drew about 5,500 attendees and operated as a zero-waste event. Music Theater of Wenatchee unveiled its 2026-2027 season at its annual meeting at Riverside Playhouse. The season includes Urinetown, It's a Wonderful Life, The Savannah Sipping Society, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Dead Man's Cell Phone, and Much Ado About Nothing. Leaders also said they've raised enough to purchase the adjacent annex building, with plans to turn it into rehearsal space, storage, and offices, and they expect the purchase to be finalized by June. Thanks for listening. For more information on all the stories you heard today, visit us at WenatcheeWorld.com. The Wenatchee World has been engaging, informing, and inspiring North Central Washington communities since 1905. We encourage you to subscribe today to keep your heart and mind connected to what matters most in North Central Washington. Thanks for starting your morning with us, and don't forget to subscribe to Slices of Wenatchee wherever you listen to podcasts.